Welcome back, or welcome to my channel, where I ramble about FNAF in an ungodly hour of the night. Today I'm going to be talking about our favourite dysfunctional family, the Aftons, and why I think we should just let them rest. Starting with everyone's favourite British bunny, William himself. 1. William. He's been revived more than Jesus Christ himself. When FNAF 3 first came out, Springtrap was surrounded with mystery and intrigue. But as time went on and he kept coming back, he lost more of that mystery. And while that's not always a bad thing, learning about a character can make you more interested in them, and potentially make you understand them a little bit more. All the information we have learned has either been contradictory, for example, William suddenly going from a normal serial killer, potentially driven by the death of his child, to a mad scientist doing experiments for, I don't know, the shits and giggles, I guess. Or they've been straight up retcons, for example, Glitchtrap being Burntrap, but also being the Mimic, because apparently Glitchtrap was always the Mimic, but also Burntrap was not Glitchtrap. William trying to get a new it's confusing. Definitely a retcon, okay? I understand why people want him back, especially considering the other attempts at villains have been a little less than great, but at this point, we need something new. 2. Michael. The dude is exhausted. If we're going off the basis that we play as Michael for at minimum FNAF 3, 5, and 6, plus the potential of him being a night guard for either 1 or 2, this man has been an incredibly overworked guy. Plus, he died twice. I understand that we want our Fazbear father figure to be Michael atoning for his sins, but the man has earned his rest. Imagine having to potentially set your murderous dad on fire, then getting murdered by your sister and her bandmates who mistook you for said father, coming back to life as a sentient skin suit, then to be set on fire by a man who made you not just have to encounter both the sister, dad, and bandmates again, but then making you spend the rest of your week with them just to die in the same building. I don't really think he needs to go through any more than that. Plus, I think he's more than atoned for the whole Crunch of 83 thing, considering everything else he's gone through. 3. The Crying Child. He missed his chance. During the quote-unquote era of the Aftons, which I consider to be FNAF 3 to 5, maybe 6 at a stretch, the Crying Child would have been perfect to implement, either as Golden Freddy, Fredbear, if he really is separate from Golden Freddy, or just as either Mike or William's motivation for their actions, being obviously Michael seemingly hunting down William, or William doing the whole murder stuff. But instead, he was retconned and forgotten about, and I feel like trying to re-add him to the story just wouldn't work anymore. It would either feel forced or like a way to pander to the old fans who keep complaining about the new stuff. Chill out, by the way, guys. It's really not that bad. You're just sad about the fact that it's all new, which I get. But I do think it's a shame. The theory of Golden Freddy's whole "it's me" being the crying child reaching out to his brother, whether with malicious intentions or not, would have made the already quite eerie and cryptid-ish nature of Golden Freddy even better. The victim of his brother's bullying finally being able to get either revenge or forgive his brother would have made for a much more compelling and interesting twist than the whole vengeful spirit stuff. And I don't dislike the whole Cassidy vengeful spirit stuff, but I don't know. If I had the choice, I know what I'd have picked. 4. Elizabeth/Baby. Great start, unfortunate end. Despite most people not liking the changes this location brought, a lot of people, myself included, loved Baby. Her unsettling voice, luring you deeper into her trap, her uncanny design, human enough to trust, but robot enough to fear. She was truly a villain you wanted to know more about. And then FNAF 6 happened. She went from willing to skin and wear her father to escape the basement he trapped her in, to being a daddy's girl who wanted nothing more than to mindlessly kill for dear old dad. And if I'm being honest, it felt a bit like a character assassination. She had so much promise. Another victim of William's robotic rampage, but with the agency and intelligence to not just fight back, but to actually stand out against the other animatronics due to her ability to not just speak, but plan. And while this may be a Let the Aftons Rest video, I kinda lied. I actually think she's one of the only ones who could be brought back in a natural way that gives her the spotlight she deserves and the second chance she needs. For example, I very much like what they did in Help Wanted 2, where in the... God, if I'm remembering correctly, it's No, Puppet Master is Ballora's, but regardless, she has the level where she is, like, pretending to be your manager. I can't remember what it's called, but I'll, put a pop-up of the thing if I can find it. And she seems sentient. Not like she's like glitch trap level, but she seems aware. She says things like,
I like it here. It's safe. Safe forever.
and she also does the interesting line of,
What makes you so special?
which the only other people who say that are Moon to my memory. And if there is anyone else, I'll put a little pop-up note here to correct myself, because I may have forgotten.
I recognize you.
5. Clara? Question mark. Just a theory? Clara Afton is an interesting case. For all we know, she may not even exist in terms of the story. However, since the Ballora Mrs. Afton theory is so popular, I figured I'd at least mention it. Evidence for Mrs. Afton being Ballora is as follows. Ballora's sentience. She seems to know and acknowledge where Michael is in the room, making comments about how she can hear someone creeping through her room, before dismissing it.
Is someone there? I can hear someone creeping through my room. Perhaps not.
Her design. Both Ballora and Baby have very similar designs, both in the fact that they're eerily human and seem to be modded as a child and adult respectively. This has obviously inspired people to make the connection that the potential mother-daughter relationship is shown in the designs, and that was a deliberate choice. However, obviously, we have not had that confirmed, to my knowledge. However, she has got a story in the Fazbear Frights books where there's a lot of tie-ins with maternal stuff, so, the symbolism is very much there. Her song. Ballora's song seems to make some very specific call-outs to who she assumes is William, as do the other fun times. She mentions an empty tomb.
Why do you hide inside your walls when there's music in my house? All I see is an empty room. No joy of an empty tomb. It's so good to sing all day, to dance, to spin, to fly away.
In her Ultimate Custom Night lines, she both flirts with and makes jabs at William, saying things like, "You wanted to let me in." These lines hint at there being a connection between the two that seems a little bit more than just creator and robot having a chat.
I could hear you breathing. Admit it. You wanted to let me in. Why do you hide inside these walls? Don't be shy. These are strange circumstances that have brought us together.
The Security Breach Afton Table, clunky name I know. As you can see in the image, each member of the Aftons is represented at this table, and the Mother's Place is shown by a staff bot modelled specifically after Ballora. Is this simply a reference to the theory, or a confirmation? We may never know. Now, I can't just play on one side, so here is some evidence against the theory. The lack of a death minigame. We see the deaths, and all the possessions, of almost all the animatronics except Ballora, the other fun times, the toys, and the nightmares. We know the nightmares aren't possessed, because they're either gas or endos on tracks, or both, but also may have actually been nightmares. They're a confusing one, okay, but we know likelihood is they're not actually possessed. The toys also, likely, aren't possessed until night 5, because that's when William breaks in and does the whole dead kids incident. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. And then, even then that's a maybe. And the other fun times just have the OG FNAF gang's remnant melted down and injected into them, which we know from the books. So why should we assume that Ballora is an exception to this rule? If we don't see a death or possession, there's a chance that's because it never happened. And if the other fun times have the OG FNAF gang's remnant in them, why wouldn't she? But wasn't that fun? The TLDR of this is that FNAF needs something new, whether it be Vanny or a mimic who gets to be the mimic and not just another William clone. The Aftons' time has finally reached its conclusion, and hopefully we can get something new and, unique. Or they bring Baby back. I could live with that. If you enjoyed my sleep-deprived rambles, please like and subscribe, maybe leave a comment on any theories or opinions you want to hear me ramble about, and I will hopefully see you next time. Bye. Bye.